let's honor all the women who have suffered this pain and endured this humiliation. Let's honor the women who have had the courage to come forward and tell their story, even though it was personally hard and difficult. And let's actually change things.
Governor Cuomo in 2019 signing a law to create new workplace harassment protections. Cuomo saying sexual harassment would not be tolerated. Fast forward to this week, the governor swamped in scandal with 3 women accusing him of sexual harassment. One of his accusers now speaking out, her allegations raising the questions on whether Cuomo violated New York State's own rules of misconduct. Watch.
The governor asked me if I was sensitive to intimacy.
In his office?
Yes, during the workday.
Trey Gowdy is former chairman of the House Oversight Committee and a Fox News contributor. I just want to play one other thing. This is from the New York State harassment training video that everybody who works here has to watch.
Physical acts of a sexual nature, including but not limited to touching, pinching, patting, grabbing, kissing, hugging, brushing against another employee's body, or poking another employee's body.
Trey, correct me if I'm wrong. That is not the standard of sexual harassment. What the young woman is describing in her interview last night with Norah O'Donnell is, by my estimate, that is harassment, even if it doesn't include touching.
Yeah, there's no question, Dana. And I'm not sure you need a training video to tell you not to ask women in the office place about their sexual history, not to try to kiss a fellow employee. I don't think you need a training video to tell you not to do that. What I find amazing, Dana, is this time 12 months ago, this time last year, Cuomo was being discussed as a replacement for Joe Biden. And then he was being discussed for vice president. And then even recently, he was being discussed as the attorney general for the United States. I mean, the sexual harassment's bad enough. I mean, but that's separate and apart from a lethal nursing home policy. I'm going to be real curious. I saw the New York Times out this morning with a story. They're about 8 months behind, but we'll see if the media plates catch up on this story.
Here's more from Norah O'Donnell's interview with Charlotte Bennett, the 25-year-old accuser. Watch.
He also asked you about if you'd ever been with an older man.
Yeah. He asked me if age difference mattered. He also explained that he was fine with anyone over 22.
And how old are you?
25.
New York Times, fifth paragraph today. Extraordinary intervention week came just as Mr. Cuomo was starting to write a book on his pandemic achievement. As it goes on from there, you had the book, you had the Emmy. Based on his press conference 2 days ago, I sense no sense of resignation on his part. If you start an impeachment process, it probably is not nearly wrapped up until right up against the election of 2022, if he decides to run again. When you factor in all that, Trey, what do you think his fate is? What is his future?
Well, I think the American people are going to have to decide what is our standard for propriety and impropriety. And that needs to be the same standard for Republicans and Democrats. I mean, keep in mind the Virginia governor decided to ride out his controversy. The Virginia lieutenant governor decided to ride out his controversy. But you got a lethal nursing home policy and 3 allegations of harassment or sexual impropriety in the workplace. If that's not enough for the voters of New York to rise up and say, you know what, we can do better. We can do better than that. It should not be up to the criminal justice system. I mean, some of this is just creepy behavior, but it may not rise to the level of a crime. But that's not the standard for staying in office. Just narrowly avoiding indictment is not the standard for staying in public office.
Take a listen just real quickly to Joy Behar of The View. This is how she thinks it should be handled.
They should use the Republican model, which is to basically ignore everything like they did with Kavanaugh. I mean, the Republican playbook is let's hope that this goes away and let's not really go into it.
Final word from you on that angle.
Yeah. Well, how about the Democrat playbook? Mazie Hirono, Kirsten Gillibrand said that they believed witnesses before the witnesses even testified. I mean, how in the hell do you believe someone before they've even uttered a word? I want one playbook for both Republicans and Democrats, due process depending on the nature of the offense, but one standard. I mean, there should not be a Republican or Democrat model. This young woman, I watched the video, very credible. There's corroboration. She subjected herself to examination and cross-examination. We need one standard in this country that applies to both Republicans and Democrats.
Looks like he's going to stay and fight. Trey Gowdy,
Thanks,
thank
Trey.
you for your time. Thanks for being here.